if I speak in Hindi, is it okay for everybody?
I'm actually not very sure. We'll have to ask people.
Okay.
People will have to tell us. Agar,
Yeah.
um, if everybody is comfortable with Hindi, then I'm also okay. But maybe people can
Yeah.
just raise their hands if they're okay
Yeah.
with Hindi.
In because I'll end up speaking a lot of Hindi, and then in between there'll be some English. But if somebody has is not okay, then I can speak in English throughout. I will at least be more aware of that. So maybe
Yeah,
I don't know. You,
I have some difficulty with Hindi, but I try to understand when people converse. Maybe if you get the
Mhm.
flow to speak in Hindi, you might go on. If I have any doubt, maybe
Okay.
can I stop you in between?
Okay. Yeah, sure. You can. Yeah,
Okay.
no problem. Yeah, great. ठीक है. So actually बहुत साल पहले ना मेरे को एक पार्क बेंच के नीचे एक ना कुछ पैसे मिले और मुझे लगा कि ये पैसे यहाँ कैसे पड़े हैं पार्क बेंच के नीचे बहुत साल पहले मेरे को लगता है 10-15 साल पहले तो मैंने कहा कि अच्छा ठीक है ये पड़े हैं तो फिर मैंने उठा लिए फिर मैंने कहा ये पैसे मैं मे बी ये इससे ना एक एक्सपेरिमेंट करते हैं और तो मैंने वो पैसे ना एक सॉक्स में डाल दिए एक पर्पल कलर की सॉक्स थी मेरे पास और फिर वो एक सॉक एक्सपेरिमेंट बन गया और मेरे दोस्तों को पता था कि मेरे पास कुछ पैसे हैं जो मैं शेयर करना चाहती हूँ और इट वाज लाइक अ इंटरेस्ट फ्री लेंडिंग एक्सपेरिमेंट तो मेरे दोस्त फोन करके पूछते थे कि सॉक है क्या मैंने कहा "हाँ, है अभी सॉक है अभी तो फिर वो सॉक को लेने आते थे और फिर वो अपने आप ही सॉक दे वुड रिटर्न विद द एग्जैक्ट अमाउंट ऑफ मनी and the sock traveled through some friends and like that to some projects friends I don't even remember what happened because I was not focusing on so much detailing like I'm now तो फिर उसके बाद वो डिमोनेटाइजेशन आया फिर वो बैंक में चले गए फिर उधर और इधर उधर शेयर हो गए फॉर अदर थिंग्स एंड देन इट काइंड ऑफ फिनिश्ड फिर जब मैं ब्राजील आई तो मुझे पता लगा कुछ महीनों बाद कि मेरी ना रिटर्न टिकट के पैसे मेरी जो ग्रांट वाले हैं वो देंगे नहीं कुछ मिसअंडरस्टैंडिंग थी और वो देंगे नहीं एंड टिकट बहुत महंगी है तो मैंने एक जेंटल अपने लिए एक जेंटली आई वाज राइटिंग टू पीपल और प्राइवेट मैसेजिंग देम ऑन फेसबुक धीरे धीरे टू से कि कंट्रीब्यूट टू मी टू माय एक्सपेरिमेंट्स इवन इफ इट इज ₹10 ऐसे यू विल सी अ मैसेज इन योर मैसेज बॉक्स इन मैसेंजर or in an email. So, and my friends were slowly giving in some money, and I thought कि if I'm fundraising, मतलब effort अगर जा रहा है तो let me fundraise for everybody, whoever needs money, even if it is a little bit. Then maybe I have a bank, my own bank, and I can give it from there. तो effort तो same ही है. And then slowly that idea got born into this name Maitri money this I was मैं एक जंगल में रह रही थी बहुत महीनों के लिए ये जंगल का नाम because there is no way I could have thought of this name because it's so for me it's so perfect it's like bang on what I was thinking तो वो सारा वो the name came to me and then we publicly launched it and that's when I found out from somebody कि Adil has already done this fund has started a similar fund 2 years back so he's like my senior in this so I said कि okay then you handhold me through this and here we are finishing a year the unofficially I think we started in November but officially this was already happening from July so yeah a year into it and we're going to launch 2.0 in August and so, yeah. What else? You said many things I should say, but I've forgotten. Tell me again.
No, no. I think
Hmm.
maybe after the story, um, getting into the details of um the Excel
Huh.
sheets or however you want to present
Huh.
some of the data,
Huh.
because generally there are naysayers who probably think that no, 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 nobody probably gives money, or
Huh.
anything
Huh.
is given but not money. So probably it's a
Huh.
great visual document as well. So
हाँ
वो भी आप
हाँ
कर
हाँ
सकते हो.
श्योर हाँ सो एक्चुअली मैं एक लिंक यहाँ पे शेयर करूंगी ताकि वो आप बाद में आप देख सकते हो आपका मन करे तो लेकिन आई एम वेरी पुअर विद कॉल्स प्रेजेंटेशन. ये तो आदिल है इसलिए कॉल हो रही है, नहीं तो ये कॉल भी मुझे लगता है 5-6 साल बाद होती. तो एक सो आई वांट टू इन माय हेड learn how to share money because I'm personally very poor in sharing money. और मैंने सोचा कि ये जो एक्सपेरिमेंट चल रहा है ये एक साल के लिए मेरे पास जितने भी पैसे आएंगे, जो भी प्राइवेट डोनेशंस भी आएंगी, जो मैं कमाऊंगी यहाँ वहां से जैसे भी आएंगे, और वो सारे पैसे मैं मैत्री मनी में डालूंगी. और इस साल के लिए मैत्री मनी में मैंने सोचा कि जब मैं 100% डालती हूँ तो उसमें से मुझे 25% मिलता है, और जब कोई और मैत्री मनी में 100 डालता है, 100 जो भी डालता है उसमें से मुझे 25% मिलता है, जिसपे मैं विच आई स्पेंड ऑन माई सेल्फ एंड माई प्रोजेक्ट्स or whatever that I want to spend on. So I was donating 75% of my personal earnings to share, key to learn that when I put, I also get, and when somebody else puts, I also get. And when I put, somebody gets, and when somebody puts, they also get. So it's actually to move away from accounting, to say ki no matter how much I put and no matter how much they put, the needs are getting fulfilled. And this is the beginning of this thought that more for me is more for you. More for you is also more for me, and more for me doesn't mean less for you, and more for you does not mean less for me. Yeah, I hope I said it right. So this was my personal experiment to see how do I feel when I share everything financially, because in things and services and skills, I've that muscle is built, it's already very strong, but this muscle is very weak because I always feel I have less money, and I always feel I earn less money, and I feel if I share my less money then I will also have less money. So ये less में ही चल रहा है सारा thought process ना. So how to strategize in my own life to move from the attitude of scarcity to abundance in monetary terms, in the real money, where notes and coins are being counted. So this was my personal take, and then slowly in this year the experiment has grown, and people have contributed. So we are right now at so the target was 120 rupees per person per year, or they can give more if they want and more often if they want, but this is the minimum we were looking for 3,000 people, so that we have like 30,000 rupees a month to share. ऐसे roughly हमने सोचा था, ये random numbers 120 और 3,000. So 97 people have so far donated, and their contributions have equaled the contributions of 1,857 people. So because not everybody gives 120, some people give more, some people give. So we have received donations from 120 to a maximum of 33,000 rupees per person. This is the spectrum of donations. And in between there are 5,000, 10,000, ऐसे अलग-अलग numbers हैं from different people, but this is minimum and maximum, and that's 97 people and equivalent to 1,857 people. So you can see that 97 people have almost equal to 1,000 people with their donations. And with these donations, we have that's 2,22,681 rupees received, and we have a full sheet, and everything is transparent, and the whole team can see the sheet, and there is no pilferage, nothing. Everybody knows where the money is going, and it's very clear that 25% comes to me. So कोई ऐसे there's no जोलझाल. And also, who steals from their own bank? No, अपनी बैंक से पैसे कौन चुराता है? तो सबकी बैंक है. So there is no stealing happening. There is no feeling of that कि oh, let me चुपके से take 5 rupees. Where will you take it and where will it go? It's all here only. So, and then the money was shared with I just transferred money just before this call. So we are right now at 30 people projects, and it's a big variety of people who have benefited from this fund, and like a vegetable vendor who wanted to go through a celebrate somebody's surprise gift money, who didn't have money to celebrate her birthday, post-surgery care for a woman in Delhi, a Maoist. We don't want to say Maoist in Naxal, but there's somebody who has a movement in Chhattisgarh, and he went through to treat his gunshot wound, and the money went to him. Then there is a learning center for school dropouts in Madhya Pradesh. The money goes to them every month. Then in Brazil, I met somebody who needed money for his back treatment. The money went to him. Then there is a graphic designer who designs posters for many people on gifts. So every month, a little bit goes to her as just as chocolate money, to eat chocolates. Um, then there was a slow food cafe coming up in Dehradun, so some seed money went to them. And when I say some money is going, it is between 500 and 1,000 rupees, because it's a micro gift. And we believe like that, so we share like that. And slowly, maybe from this year, we will be able to, probably, I really feel the fund will grow and we can share even more. Like not like we can expand from 500 to 5,000 if the need is like that. The money was shared with an NVC center in Jaipur to another a person who had nothing on the streets. It was given to her. There was somebody who had to pay his monthly bills. Then a little bit money given to him. Then a learning center in Uttar Pradesh for absolutely rural kids who have no access to school, nothing. So there's a learning center in UP. The money goes there monthly. There is a center for blind animals outside Delhi. Monthly money goes to them. Then there is a wild. Somebody wanted to do wildlife courses in government schools, and they had no money for binoculars, so money went to them for their binoculars. Then somebody was relocating for a job, and he didn't have money to. Money went for that. Some money went to Goonj. They were fundraising for some stuff. Then there's a woman who wrote to us. She had to exit the country because there were some visa complications. So we supported her. Then a big. We actually, this is an exception we made. We sent a big chunk of money to Turkey when the earthquake came, and the money went through many people because we did not want to pay bank fees. So apart from people who are on this call or who were invited, there were other people who were also invited who are part of this maneuvering the money, and the money went to somebody's some Indian bank, then it went to somebody's other's bank, then it was automatically the person who received the money, he knew somebody in Germany, then he knew somebody in Turkey, so the money went through four people to avoid around 7% bank fees. So many people are involved in this sharing of money. And then we also to the money goes every month to sponsor the school fees, monthly school fees of four kids in a very rural village in MP. And that's where it goes. In Meghalaya, it went to support food for a rural football tournament. New shoes for somebody who couldn't afford, to a shaman in Africa who was raising money for his family because he was going through a crisis. A bus for rural kids to go on a picnic in Tamil Nadu, somebody's learning journey in Himachal Pradesh, to the Anganwadi to get new equipment for the schools in Chhattisgarh, an emergency surgery for somebody. This is another place we made an exception. We sent 5,000 rupees because the surgery was the next day and there was no money. So we said, okay, we looked into our bank and we said, yeah, we can give 5,000. So Turkey and this emergency surgery were two places where we made an exception. Then somebody wrote to us. He was job hunting and he didn't have money for the month. It went to him. And there was a community organizing project in MP a woman is working on. It went to her. So that's, and to me. So that's 30 people. The range is immense, the spectrum is immense. And at Maitri Money, our policy is that you ask to receive, and if you want to share, you just give it and it will be shared, and we don't know where the money will go. So it's very opposite of crowdfunding or crowdsourcing, when I say, hey, I need money for this. Hey, we are saying we don't know where your money will go, but when it goes, you will see it where it goes, and you can talk to these people individually. We have contacts, emails, everything is there. So if you want to talk to somebody in particular, because your money has gone to everybody, it's like spread thin through all these 30 people, and one of them is me, and maybe somebody is also on this call who may want to share. But on this document, if you scroll, all it says where the money has gone, and if you want the contact details, you can write to me. And the document also has posters of all our months. Every month we are doling out these new posters, and a lot of people are involved. Adil, I, the illustrator, the one who writes the content, and we're always thinking of these one-liners to dole out every month. So So even if I start counting, there are so many people already involved in the project, and these are all doing it out of their heart. There is no salary, there is no payment. They can always ask for funds if they want. That's no problem. But otherwise, this is totally on love, care, and gift. The whole project is running on that. That's the backbone. So I'm very grateful to everybody who's on this call, who's not even on this call, who couldn't come. But it's all these people, 97 of you, and at least 20 people at the back end who are making this project possible. The person who manages the Excel sheet, who makes sure the formulas are always working. Then the people who have offered their Paytm, GPay, bank transfers, where the money go. Then I write to them, hey, send some money here, send some money there, and they always respond to my messages. And it's a lot of investment of many people. So thank you. Now somebody say something.
Thank you, Deepa. Yeah, I think I was going to get to that. Maybe you and I have been at the back end. We sort of know why we're doing it and also the processes. But I think
Hmm.
would love to hear from Aruna, Hemant, Ampreet, and
Hmm.
Shivananda as to what do they
Hmm.
think of matrimony? Like, from the other side, what do they think of it? What have they thought of, experienced, anything, or
Hmm.
their views on what we started out of, sharing money or, just having the trust in sort of giving because, like I like to call all these funds mutual funds because they're actually mutually beneficial. Sometimes we are in the mainstream so happy to sort of give our money away to sort of trust funds and wealth managers, and they'll sort of invest it somewhere, and we don't even know where it goes. But we don't have the trust to sort of give it to people within the alternative, within the ecosystems that we know. So, would love to hear from
Hmm.
all the four people who have joined us here. What do they think of matrimony? What do they think of money itself? Yeah.
Hmm.
So,
Deepa,
opening the floor for that. Thank you.
Hmm.
Deepa,
Hmm.
can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. So sorry, I'm slow a little sometimes understanding things. And you said that you put in your salary, 75% of your salary. Can you just explain that part again? I didn't get that really. I'm very sorry about that.
No
And
worries. It
you
actually,
said about an Excel sheet. I don't see the Excel sheet somewhere. Where do I see that Excel sheet?
yeah,
It's in that doc?
it's the it's not in the doc, but I can send you the access if you want to see it. That's
Yeah,
not a
I just
problem.
want to
I can give
understand
you.
because
Yeah,
I always believed in gift economy and I tried and I failed
right.
very badly for a year as a business also. For me,
Yeah.
it was disastrous. So I'm very keen and I'm very open to these. You learn. So
Hmm.
please just
Yeah.
briefly tell me again.
What I meant was that this year I pledged to put all the money that's coming to me as money I earn from a project, through consultations, through a lot of private donations. Like in Brazil, people offer me money to survive this year, and all the donations, everything, all of it go is part of the Maitri money. I put all of it in. So if I get 100 rupees, I put 100 rupees in, and from that I only get 25 rupees. 75 rupees goes to the fund. So that's
Okay.
75%. So
Hmm.
whatever money I get for this year, I pledge that all of it will go to Maitri money, and I will only get 25%. And then and also what everybody else puts. So if somebody else is putting 100 rupees, I get 25 rupees, right, for me and to sustain myself, because I live totally on gift mostly. And
Hmm.
so this is how I wanted to participate in the experiment. So for me, the bar was not 120 rupees. The bar was all the money I'll get, I'll put in.
The trust. The trust.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah, that if
trust.
when I put in, yeah, so just
100%.
to see
Yeah.
what happens, no, like let me put in 100%, no, let me do the full throttle,
Hmm.
because I wanted to see what happens, and I did not want to play from the sidelines. I wanted to give it fully. And so I also, like Adil and I spoke, I also went through a time when I received a big like a decent donation, and I said, wow, this I did not know I will receive. Now I have to put all of it in Maitri money. So I also went through my own insecurities with money, with my own questions, with my own feelings of scarcity around it, because I always feel there is some kind of scarcity around it. It keeps coming up for me. So this was my ear to see that if when I put in everything, and when people put whatever they want to put, and whatever I receive from the fund, is it enough or not? Or am I still, or are my financial needs still not met? And actually, they were met. I don't feel that they were not met. I don't feel scarcity like that. And as the experiment will grow, because this is now, I personally would commit 3 years to it, and the second year is starting. I want to see what will happen in the second year when everybody's re-invited to donate again. So we don't know what will happen, but I'm willing to see, and that will start in August. Did I answer your question?
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Great.
I'm getting
So
very inspired to probably mentor with you and start a matrimony here.
yeah, we want many matrimonies, और
Yeah,
मतलब बैंक की बहुत सारी branches होनी चाहिए हर state में एक branch होनी चाहिए, whatever the name you want to have, and everybody can have their own community funds, because we all have access to, I don't know, let's say 3,000 people who may want to give 120 rupees a year. We all have these our own I don't know how the investors. We all have our own investors. So we
yeah.
can all invest in our bank. We all have this network, and we can build this. So everybody
Should I
is already a bank.
should I take a call separately with you on the
Yeah,
intentions of
yeah,
what I
yeah,
want to do?
yeah,
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 okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. Great, great. That is also another purpose of this call. That if people are
Yeah,
motivated to start their own community banks, then we can, Adil and I can get on a call with them separately another day, and then we can brainstorm together. Which
yeah,
is what I want out of Matrimony. That
yeah.
everybody can have their banks, and we can interbank together.
Mm. Hmm.
Yeah,
This is
but
sustainability for organic farmers, people who want to go
yeah,
into organic farming.
yeah,
So how we can make it really profitable? Not like,
yeah,
farm karenge to mar jaoge. Not like that.
huh,
But
huh.
we can use matrimony as a tool for
Yeah.
finance. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah.
Won't take more of your
Matrimony,
time.
Chit Chat Fund, many other names that we can think of. But
Whatever, whatever.
yeah, 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 whatever.
Yeah,
But
I
over
will
to
take you up.
Adil. Yeah,
Adil,
yeah, yeah,
Adil.
sure, sure,
Thanks. Yeah,
sure.
yeah,
Yeah, over to
yeah.
Adil, what he wants to again ask everybody.
No, no asking, but just inviting people to share, as Aruna, Ampreet, Shivananda. What brings them here? Their perspectives on money. I'm always fascinated to hear what people think of, you know, money and sharing. You sort of get really diverse and rich perspectives. So opening the floor for that.
Yeah, Aruna here. See, like, I really see if I have to talk about money, I really have to think very deeply. So I can't really, put it in some few sentences right
No,
now.
no,
But
that's all right, Aruna. But you can share if anything about matrimony that whether you've
yeah,
given. I'm assuming you've given. So what do you think of matrimony? What do you think it is looking to do? We'd love to hear that because we have our own perceptions and perspectives in mind as to what it's supposed to be doing. But we'd love to hear from the other side, like I said.
yeah. So see, I knew Deepa through some Facebook forward, like she the about the travel which she did from north to south, without phone and mobile. Like I was so fascinated about it, and I was sharing with after I saw the post. I was sharing with literally each and every person I met. Okay, like I didn't care whether they would like to listen or not. Like I was so much fascinated, and then. After that I lost the post, and um, after maybe a year or something I started searching. Somehow this came to my mind, and I was searching for her name, and I couldn't find in Facebook. It was just lost in the sea like that. And then this Maitri Money message came from her, then I was able to again connect with her, and I felt it's a privilege for me to connect with her, for with such a wonderful soul, and that's how it started for me. And yeah, it's a great experiment to do, and every person has unique background and situation and financial status. So this money factor is highly variable, and it's like there's a saying in Tamil, no, "Sirutuli peruvellam," in the sense every drop, a single drop makes an ocean. So it's all different forms of the same water. So it's the it's like everyone is same, the collective consciousness. That's what is working. So that's what I feel. Yeah, and I feel the energy which I receive even in this call, and even seeing you or Deepa, I know that's really going to give me something. I can't really say how it is going to manifest, but I can feel the goodness and the strength it will give me to do look things different and do better things in my life. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Aruna. Deepa, would you like to just maybe add something to that?
No, I think I like to hear everybody else, and then maybe we can talk again.
Great, we can do that. So then I would like to invite Shivananda and
Yeah. Hi.
hi,
Yeah.
hi,
Hi,
hi.
Shivam. Yes, yeah.
Yes,
So
yes.
yeah. So when I got this message, no, I think I got on Facebook or maybe Deepa shared. I think so. Like it looked like very amazing, like very simple thing. But yeah, because so yeah, we are sometimes ready to give somebody some money. So here it is not like very planned. Okay. So whenever we think like somebody needs money, or whenever we do such a plan, we think like how the money might be misused. Somebody might just take it and all. So, but yeah, all those things, I think like too much scrutiny is also not there. I don't know, like you have to correct me if it is wrong. See, somebody might ask money, thinking like getting this information, there is some money available. They might misuse also. But yeah, I think that much scrutiny we are not doing. When we think like the requirement is genuine, we'll just share it, and then we don't know like if they get back also, if like how the money is utilized. I'm not sure if that is also followed up. But I think here, and the one other thing is sometimes we are okay to give money, but here what Deepa is telling is, so she is also taking back the money also, like sometimes. So that we are very like, sometimes we think like why we should take some others money and all. But here it is more like a community living, like as rather than individual ownership. We give to the needy people. We keep it in a bank, and then even if we want also, even we can also take. Like this is very flexible. There is no strict rules formed around and all that. That looks very amazing idea. But the thing is, again, some questions are there. Maybe somebody like if we have some 1 or 2 lakh in the bank, and if somebody asks for 5 lakh, so then we are not going ahead, right? Are we trying to raise more funds, or we are limiting ourselves, telling like, yeah, this is the thing right now. We will go only with whatever the fund is required, and only whatever is possible in that, what only that much we will donate. So like that, do we decide? Like these are some of the questions. So as previously said also, when I am thinking like, why can't we start one such thing in our community also? Because we live in an apartment where a lot of security guard, housekeeping people and all will be there. They might have some requirement of money and all. If we create such a bank, then without hesitation, some people also can take, whoever wants, they can put the money. So, and I'm also planning, I'm also thinking of starting one such thing in our community. So that's why I want to know some a little bit more details, like how things are planned or working here.
Thank you, Shivananda, for sharing that. And some very valid questions, some questions obviously that Deepa and I have mulled over, thought about it, have our own perspectives. I think maybe once Humphrey shares, we can get to that because those are the questions that generally come up. So these are not unique questions in that way. But yeah, we do have not answers, but I would say sort of perspectives on how to look at this idea of trust, and how do we look at the idea of how much should we give, who do we give out to, and we'll get to that soon. Humphrey, if you're here, if you'd like to share, um, the floor is
Sure.
open. Yeah.
I guess I'm audible.
Yes, you are. Humphrey.
Okay. So yeah, I'll surely share. You know, so yeah, I have known Deepa since 2018, or no, actually way before. Yeah, like so, I was just a member of, you know, like both groups, Zero Waste Life and the Real Deal on Facebook, and I was a member, and I was like really fascinated by, you know, how it was working. Like, you know, I was in so many other groups and all, but yeah, this was working way so efficiently. And yeah, so that was it. But after that, you know, I volunteered up to, you know, be like, you know, as a volunteer on the group, and also I just started, and that's how I got to know Deepa more closely after that. Um, so yeah, like about the money part over here, like, you know, it has been like really tricky for me. Like my relationship with money has been really troublesome since my childhood, actually, not just in right now, but been since childhood. Like, I kind of have been a person who spends without thinking sometimes. Even now, even from childhood, like, you know, like if I had, like in my childhood, if I had 10 rupees, okay, I could eat, you know, something twice or thrice in a day with that 10 rupees. But then I would spend it on something which I would eat just once. And maybe that would not, you know, fill my stomach, like fill my tummy that much at all. And, but yeah, like it has been, but like, you know, since childhood, I wanted to have so much money, like, you know, so much money. And of course, for my expenses, like, you know, for my lavish lifestyle and all. But then I also had this another motive, like I could see so much of around, like, you know, whereas people were suffering, you know, from so many things. And but money was the root cause of that. Money is actually the root cause of a lot of things, you know, if we see, uh, you know, around the world. So I wanted to have so much money so I could help people out and all. You know, that is what and throughout my life, I kind of have done that. And I would have, I guess I would still love to do more, you know, but yeah. So with matrimony, I have been there as, you can say, as a payment mediator, you know. So like, yeah, so I have been a payment mediator over here. And also, like, you know, I have sometime, you know, some, like, I have received some help, you know, regarding it when I needed it the most. That was there. Yeah, but I really like, you know, how, I mean, there are, of course, like, you know, I see so many funds, you know, out there, you know, to help people and all. But most, like, if you do see, all the funds are out there, you know, which are made to help people, all are like very capitalistic in nature. uh, like, if you ever think about money, you know, everyone thinks, like, you know, if you ever think about money, it's mostly capitalistic. But kind of, actually, from Deepa and from Maitri money, you know, I learned like, yeah, like something related to money can't be capitalistic at all. It can be greater than that, or it can't be capitalistic at all, like, from there. So that's what I learned over here. Yeah, I just hope to, learn more from it, learn from more from Deepa, about managing my own finances well. Even though I'm earning so much well right now, I would need to, because when you, like a person like me, when you start, earning a lot more, your expenses get a lot more. So you get in more trouble over here. So that's what I need to do. I need to manage my expenses well. And yeah, apart from that, I would love to, help out, in supporting Maitri Money and maybe other initiatives out there, which wherever I can. And yeah, I'm just happy to be here in this call. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you everyone for sharing. It was wonderful to hear. Like I said, the perspectives were so rich, so different. And yeah, I think complete what you're talking about is lifestyle creep. Generally, people have nowadays a term for everything, like how the lifestyle creeps up on you. You sort of earn more, but the spending also increases, and so then you don't really save a lot or give a lot. Yeah, so Deepa, we can take this in many directions. There were many things shared, so I'll leave it up to you, whichever thread you want to pick up. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I actually have forgotten all of the questions, but I remember one, and I think that was
Shivananda's question
the
of what
first
happens when,
question.
yeah.
Yeah, so I'll pick up two threads, and then again we can revisit the questions, and you can tell me again whichever I've missed. Um, this was my first question when I was thinking of Maitri Money, a community fund, a flow fund, access to the public, and everyone can ask and everyone can receive. And I has to ask, and I looked at Chit Chat Fund's, I don't know, memorand, something like a write up, and in that I read this paragraph, which is also part of the Maitri Money document, which the link is shared. In the link also answers a lot of questions which we already thought. So there are a lot of questions there. Read it up whenever you like. But one of them is this paragraph: what if the fund is misused? What if somebody asks money for something he does not genuinely needs? What if it is not an emergency? So all these things, like we at Matrimony have, I think, emotionally have arrived at a place where we feel all needs are justified. If it's a need to receive money to have, I don't know, 5 ice creams this month, I have, we at Metri Money have no problem giving that money for ice cream, because it is a happiness fund. It is supposed to be, it is for everybody, and all needs are justified. And I live with my host, and one of the things I learned from her is suspend, to not to suspend this space of judgment, to not, how can I or we learn that eating chocolates for somebody is as important as new shoes, is as important as monthly fees for school. It's the same thing, because it's the energy. It is, at the end of the day, something we created to get what we need. And for me it's the same. So when somebody says, hey, I need to buy new shoes and I don't have money, I said, okay, there you go. And they said, really? I said, yeah, it's the same for us at Matrimony. And in so only like and another thing I want to so I want to read from this before I move to another thread. What if the fund is misused? Well, technically it could be. The trust the community has in the receivers and the scope of the fund would determine to what extent it could be misused. A good thought experiment would be to put a percentage on the number of times the fund could be misused out of 100. More often than not, within a community or organization, the percentage would not, in all probability, cross 50%. it would still make the fund a success. So we are operating from the very beginning from this space that, yeah, okay, if this happens, okay, it happens. And also, it's very interesting how we see our own needs and how we see others' needs, right? If I want money to eat a pizza today, it is okay for me. But if somebody else needs, it's not okay, because it's not an emergency. So all these biases that come, I want to learn how to deconstruct them. And this experiment forces me to do it every day, all the time. And I'm not the sole person who decides if the money should be given or not. It is run by the team, and then we decide. Like, for example, that emergency surgery I mentioned, which had to happen the next day. There was somebody's leg had to be amputated because of an accident, and she had no money, and she wanted, I don't know, 10 lakhs. And we then decided, okay, we can give 5,000. So we gave 5,000. And yeah, and I don't know, maybe you can tell me more questions, and maybe Adil can take some questions.
Yeah.
That will be good.
If it's okay, maybe I can just add my 2 cents here. With my experience of also working with Chit Chat Fund, is that given, and that's one of the reasons why the funds are micro funds, right? Because it's not that we are trusting everybody with the entire amount, 100% of the amount which is collected in Maitri money or in any other community fund that's being run. Only a small, the funds themselves are micro. The funds which are going out are 500,000, like Deepa mentioned, or in really rare cases 5,000, and they may increase, let's say, next year, but they're still going to be micro funds, right? And that's one way of also making sure that, even if the fund is misused, a fraction, really a small amount, is being misused, right? And I think the other aspect is that I don't know, it's when we give out money to, let's say, a mutual fund, a real mutual fund, or invest in stocks, we're really trusting many people, and we're assuming that they'll take care of our money, but we have no control over it. And what that is used for is really not good for you, not good for the environment, not good for the community, right? So, and that is 100% of the time. So if you probably have something invested in the stock market, there's a good chance that it's not good for um, the environment out there. So compared to that, I would say that when we give out these funds, they are sort of, the probability of that being used for social good or environmental good or even personal good is just much higher. And then, as to what Deepa was talking about, not always looking from a point of just sort of sustenance, but also seeing how can we make people feel abundant. Like, it's not just, I just need 5,000 this month guzara karne ke liye, to hum 5,000 hi denge. No, maybe if you need for eating chocolates and feeling abundance, and once in a while it's okay for people to feel that. And maybe there aren't too many funds out there that look at that. There are many project funds, there are many fellowships, there are program funds, but I would say there are very few flow funds, community funds, where you can use money for personal reasons as well. So I just wanted to quickly add that. Yeah. I think Hampreet has written in the chat that a quick intro on Chit Chat Fund. Yeah, so maybe I'll keep it very short. So Chit Chat Fund was visioned as a chit fund for the alternative sector, for people in the alternative sector. So how do we create sort of, if you've heard of chit funds and how they work, informally people group their money, and then based on need, somebody gets to have access to that liquidity every month or whenever they really need it. But chit funds also work on, some of them work on lottery basis, some of them work on, hey, I'm in a dire need, so I will sort of bid low, and then other people from in the community benefit from me bidding low. and that bidding low is probably me going through an emergency or something like that. So you community members benefit in a capital way from the sorrows or the misfortunes of one person, which really doesn't seem right. So what we said about that, can we take the collective aspect of the chit fund, but sort of invert this principle of benefiting from somebody's sorrow, but sort of alleviating it. So we give. So this is a fund where people contribute, and somebody at the end of the month or in the beginning of the month can ask for capital money that they require for whatever reason. And the reason can be personal, the reason can be they want to go on a learning journey, the reason could be that they want to prototype something in their project. So really opening it up from the personal to the professional sphere, people can ask, uh, and that is just given. So instead of making sure that people give back, we say that you don't even have to give back. You can give back when you want to, when you feel abundance. But we will, as a community, act. This collective fund can act as a safety net, where people, not just a financial safety net, because the fund is still micro like Maitri Money, but what does it uh, mean to have a psychological safety net as well? Where people feel okay to ask that, hey, this is my need. I need it for therapy. I need it really because I don't even have money to survive this month. And what does it look like to not look at that asking from a judgmental lens and say that, yaar, inko paise handle karne nahi aate, they need to be better at, and that all may be true, but we're saying that we'll be with you in this journey, and maybe over the course you will learn. And people do learn, people change. My own perspective of money or the way I handle it has not been the same over the past 15 years, and I'm sure it's the same for everyone. So how do we sort of do that? And that's what Chit Chat Fund has been doing, and we've been running it for almost 3 years now. Hampreet, if you want to know more, maybe we can catch up and I can share some links with you. Thank you. Yes, Hemant, I think, yeah, you can start a Chit Chat Fund, Maitri Money, whatever name you call it. It's the same. It's really collectivizing funds and sort of using it for community good. In fact, the first line of Chit Chat Fund document talks about Maitri or loving kindness. So in that sense, there is not a lot of difference between Maitri Money and Chit Chat Fund from a principal point of view. Yes, Deepa, I'll do that. Maybe in the meanwhile, you can address what Hampreet was also talking about, and Aruna also.
Yeah. So I wanted to know that I don't know their questions. Like I don't remember if Aruna had a question. I remember what she said, but did she have a question for me to address?
No.
Because I
No
didn't.
question. You
No.
can,
Okay.
yeah.
No questions. Yeah. Okay.
You can just riff
Okay.
off.
And
Yeah.
yeah, I'm very poor at all these things, and I'm also very poor at Zoom calls. That's why I never do them. This is like the first in 1 year. So, um, for me, again, I am really looking forward to a future where there are many uh, banks like these held by people for the people, and the person who's holding them also receives from them, and there is no judgment in receiving and asking. Like I don't feel shy receiving 25% from the fund, you know. So okay, Hemant, I read that. And so how to, for me, I'm learning how to dissolve my own shyness around money when I give it and when I receive it. And and also the this whole which comes, which actually is very persistent in the gift economy circuit, like how to be free from this thought that when I give somebody an apple, that person has to give me back an apple, or I must receive an apple back from somewhere. Apple. How about if I receive an apple, when I give, it could be a bag of grapes, and all value is the same. And how not to equalize the value in what exactly how it's given. So I'm learning how to be free from this. And it's like like Adil said, we are all on the journey. Nobody is perfect, and nobody has learned all the lessons. And I feel, as human beings, as a species, we are really, something is energetically stuck in this topic called money. It makes everybody uncomfortable. Everybody feels itchy. And when I started this experiment, I thought 120 rupees, 3,000 people is nothing. I know like 10,000 people. It'll come fatafat. But no, it's not true. If it's not fatafat. Over the whole year, we are still short of a target which ends in July. No, 1 lakh 37,219. Short of this money target and short of 2,903 people. I've not even got 100 people. So when we were thinking कि यार तो ऐसे ही हो जाएगा, ये तो कुछ नहीं है. Actually, this experiment reveals to me that there is something that is there which has not been resolved about money. Not something, a lot of things, and probably everything. And we have to. I'm learning. We are learning, and we are deconstructing all these things that people say, "Ki, oh, if anybody writes to you, you will give." And I said, actually, it's not I'm giving. It's a team that gives. It's not my money at all. It's just appears to be my money, so it's not my money. It's like a bank. And they said, okay, what somebody, and most common question is, what if people misuse it? And also I feel we may have to explore what is misuse. क्या क्या है misuse? मतलब कि क्या, मतलब if I give 500 for binoculars and instead of that the person goes and smokes, buys some packets of cigarettes, yeah, for me it's okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't see, yeah, I don't see it any different. It is, if he feels like that, sure. And as it's micro gifts, I know कि कितना ही misuse हो जाएगा. हमको पता ही है, दिख ही रहा है. So all these things, and I struggle with money like everybody does on this call. Humphrey has his own struggles, and we all have different aspects of sections of money that we struggle in, and they are all intersecting somewhere. So yeah, that's it. Somebody else say something.
Yeah, I think just from a philosophical point of view, I would say that the grossest misuse of money would be to sort of spend on yourself in a very narcissistic way, not in a sustenance or a healthily abundant way, but to spend on yourself in excess, I would say is probably the grossest misuse of it. So if anything, you're making sure that the worst case scenario, you're sort of taking it out. Like, and if somebody uses it, somebody else using money is probably a better use of it, and somebody misusing it is still sort of better for you, because you're not sort of swimming in excess. You have enough, and you're giving from a place of abundance as well, and you know that you have enough. So I would say that even philosophically for me, this misuse and all that really doesn't make sense, because you're making sure that um, it's the probability of misuse actually is being reduced. So yeah, I think
yeah, this reminds me of another thing I want to say, and everybody is welcome to jump in. Okay, so it's now popcorn style, so don't worry, don't wait for us to. So you're welcome to say if you
yes,
want to say
please, we
something.
might have passionate
Yeah.
perspectives, and we might steal
Yeah.
the time, but please butt in
Yeah.
and share.
Yeah. Yeah.
So as
So
you're
like,
saying this,
say. Yeah. Come
yeah.
on.
So as you're saying this, so what the thought I got is, like I told now, if somebody is spending on himself and misusing, like that is the kind of misuse. I think even with our own money also, if you spend like on unnecessary things and all, no, I think even that should be also considered as a misuse, right? Not only with others' money. So if you think like that, and if we start like reducing our needs and all, so I think yeah, that is yeah more the way forward for all of us to learn. I know like Deep and all are doing that, seeing your Facebook post and all, we always feel like guilty, like yeah, we are just reading the post, but we are not doing. I think that is also, if we as well is spending on ourselves with our own money also, that is also really a misuse. It should be stop. We should worry more about such kind of misuse what you do than our money getting misused by, yeah, for some other purpose or something.
Thank you, Shivananda. Yes, I think what I
Yeah.
would like to add to that is that yeah, maybe Deepa can answer that, and then I'll chime in later.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm so sorry you feel guilty after reading things on Facebook by me. I didn't know that. I'm sorry I make you feel like that, but because you don't live with me, you're not able to see on the things that I spend money, you know, and I spend money on all these things that make me happy, especially potato chips. So it's misuse is very relative, you know. It's very I don't think we can standardize what misuse means. I don't know. Like sometimes when I'm having a really bad day, I take a longer shower. So I don't know if that water was misused, because for me it helped me cope with that day. Just putting it into a different perspective than money. And another thing I wanted to say a while back was like when a lot of people write to me, "Oh, we are short of money this month. Lend some money to me." And I tell them, I'm not going to lend any money. You want money, you ask from the Maitri money, and then they don't want to ask from the community fund. And I'm always wondering that lending is okay. They're okay with lending, and then they return. But taking from community fund, they feel miserable. They don't ask, and then they say, "Ah, it's okay, we'll manage." So I am always it's for me, it's I'm trying to understand that why do people feel guilty asking from the community fund? So
I don't know, like,
yeah.
I think, see, it is a more responsible money when it comes to community money. I feel people from different background might have given the money. For somebody, that even 100 rupees was from, their little precious kitty. So I think the person who has asked the money might be not guilty, maybe rethinking, okay, should we really get from the community money, or that's the morality or whatever is inside them is working, and trying to evaluate their need. Yeah, maybe somebody else who is in much better important need or much necessary thing, they might need that, maybe in that lines people might think. I don't know, I'm thinking
Absolutely,
along.
Aruna. Yeah, I think a lot of people that I have spoken to about Chit Chat Fund within the community that we share the fund in say the exact thing that you are talking about. That maybe other people have more graver needs. That my need is probably not very important, and that I would say plays out not in just in the money sphere, but everywhere, right? Why should I receive happiness or joy? Why should I consume something? Why should I have so much when somebody else probably needs more? Which I would say is one sort of perspective. And the other thing also, what I think maybe Aruna like probably went there almost, is that trust is probably a very precious commodity. Like you, so whenever people think that, what if it is misused? But think about it. What if that misuse comes to light? That person's trust, the community's trust in that person might go down, or in gross misuse or whatever. If somebody said that they would use it for a project but they didn't, and they just blew it up on alcohol or whatever. So trust is also a precious community for people. So, and people don't put their trust on the line for micro amounts, for 5,000, 4,000, or you have to really work hard to put your trust on the line for that. And that's one of the reasons why I feel like it's probably not misused in whatever sense, where people are not being truthful. They say one thing and they might use it for another. It probably doesn't happen for micro amounts like these, because there is a lot of trust that you're putting on the line. Once you ask publicly, once it is put out in documents and in Google groups and in public places. So I would say that sort of helps in curbing any ways gross misuse or not being truthful about it.
So in this context, I just add one doubt. Like here, no, it's everything is transparent. Like if somebody tells like I will take money, but my name or number should not be published, or even if somebody says I want to give money and I don't want to say my name, so that is not there, right? Like it's everybody should it should be public. Everything should be public. Is it? Does it work like that?
Yeah, there is a Google Sheet, and that is the team has access to that. And when I say the team, it is the person who holds the maximum amount in GPay, I, and Adil, and the person who maintains the Google Sheet, Mohit. He's not on this call right now. He created the Google Sheet so that we can see very quickly what is happening. So these are the four people, and so once in a while somebody says, "Hey, we would like to see," and then we give them access as a viewer. They see it, and then we remove it. This is a
No, I'm
joint
not
decision
asking
that
that. See,
Adil,
suppose
sorry,
like
yeah.
see, I was not asking that. I was asking. See, suppose
Mm.
now I want to give some money, okay, but I tell like yeah, nobody should see that. Like you just take it as a miscellaneous contribution. Don't put my name or phone number. Or if I want to take money also and put the same condition, so then yeah, is that also happening or?
Ah, right. Actually, publicly, see, like for example, the team knows, and if the person doesn't want the team to even know, I don't know if that's possible. So we've never had this situation yet. So we can always talk about this. But for now, for example, the person who's receiving money and who's giving money, these people are not known to each other. So even when you read the Google Doc, the names of the people are not there. The contacts are not there. But if you want to speak to somebody in specific, I can always ask them that, hey, one of the donors would like to talk to you, and I can do the bridge depending on consent. But publicly, this information is not there. That you gave or you received, only we know, the three of us, because we have a sheet
Okay.
for the angels, and we have a sheet for giving and how much is given, and a full sheet that shows how much is given per month, and like a data, so that we know what's happening. But publicly nobody knows. Only I know that, are you a receiver or are you a donor, or are you both? Because some people are both. They keep giving and they keep receiving, so they are dancing. So did I answer your question, or did I miss something already?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I think it answers. So I just
Yeah,
wanted to know at least the team is aware, right? Yeah. So yeah, I know like now
yeah,
at least yeah, the two, three people, the main people, they are aware of
yeah,
the two.
yeah, yeah.
Amprit,
Cool.
I think had raised his hand. So
Yeah, I guess I just wanted to say, of course, it's a like a really good practice, to keep a record of who's donating what and where it is going. But yeah, as I guess you all also and myself have seen so many times, especially in NGOs, but in other sectors too, where the money gets donated. Like some of the lot of money they register as the anonymous. Like myself, if I have given money somewhere, right, and I say okay, I don't want to mention my name, so they just mention it as anonymous, and then they just take the money. I guess that's how they might have recorded it into their system also, and that's how they might have reported it to ahead to, because sometimes some government agencies do check your records if you are a registered NGO or like that. And even if sometimes you are not a NGO, registered one, so then they might check it. And even if you are not just an NGO, like it can be some fund in a corporate, where the money is getting donated, or especially the political parties who receive so much of the fund and all, so that it is there. Yeah, I guess it is like that. But yeah, like keeping the record over here is like really good practice, which I feel like should be there everywhere. But coming to Shivananda point, it is also very important, because it's not about associating yourself with the money you have donated, it's about, sometimes it's about the privacy or something like that. You just don't want to have your name out there, and or it can be many other reasons. So yeah, I don't know if this option should be available in Matrimony or not, but yeah, it's all upon the team to decide. But yeah, these are my points, I guess I wanted to say. Another thing I guess I wanted to say is, like, there are, so actually, yeah, so especially this is actually a fund, right, where people are, like, being helped, getting help, from this fund. And there is no criteria mostly, or like that is also there. If you do need help, okay, and if, like, you can get it, like, if you really need help. But yeah, like, if you do see, I have seen so many of funds like this, I guess, not especially like this, but like where the people would, mention it uh, like we always have to give back. Like, for me, like, yeah, like, giving back is not just like, okay, giving back to fund itself. Maybe you can give it ahead to someone else who is in need, or maybe okay, if you want to give it back to the fund too, you know you can be a donor over there. You can just give it as a donor. You don't have to, mention yourself as, okay, I am giving back the money which I took from the uh, fund. You can just give back any money, whether it's less of the money you took, or whether it's more of the money you took. It's up to your choice. Or even if you don't want to give it back. But yeah, like, there is this thing set in our mind, human mind, like, if you are taking from somewhere, then you have to give it back. Of course, like, not everyone not everyone has it, but yeah, like, but yeah, there is this thing set in our, and of course, like, as earlier, I guess Aruna was saying, that there is this guilt in our mind, like, that is why, kind of, because of this thing also, sometimes we do feel guilt, and taking money from funds like these. And like, you would, like, you think, okay, you would be better taking a loan off from somewhere, but then you wouldn't want to take money from a fund like that. And also, I mean, it's still, like, questionable in my mind, but yeah, I guess that is it.
Deepa, would you like to maybe?
No,
No?
say something. No, take this. Yeah.
Yeah. See, I think
Or Aruna,
since
yeah. Great.
since it's all experiment what we are doing, let's have an open mind about everything. So if at all, if someone comes to us and say, I really want to be anonymous, let's see the reason behind why he or she is telling that. And if we really feel valid, we can try putting one entry, in our data. Like maybe we can only those people who are operating the funds might know, even if they're not comfortable even with them, that four people not knowing also, let's see why they are feeling so. If at all there is some validity, we feel we can go ahead. So yeah, we
Yeah,
can,
yeah.
we're
Sure,
open.
sure, sure. Actually, अभी तक किसी ने ना बोला नहीं है कि we want to be anonymous. So that's why we never had to tackle with this. So, but if somebody says we want to give and we don't want to be bothered with an annual call and with an email once a year, that's possible. It's no problem. But it's so far not happened. But I feel the participation on the call also shows this, that people would like to be anonymous and not come on the annual call. I feel this is also another way of saying that, and which is totally okay. I'm not going to, because everybody was sent an invitation. I sent an invitation to 97 plus, maybe 120 people. So that's no problem. If somebody doesn't want to be here, also in this call, we still don't know who is the receiver or giver, right? You only know about me, that I gave and I received. But right, you don't know what Adil did, Hampreet and Hemant. Only you know. So that aspect of matrimony is not critical, to me. Are you the receiver or are you the giver? Because I feel it is happening simultaneously. When you give, you receive, and when you're receiving, you're also giving. So we are not looking at that, at least for me, in this space we are not looking. And some people give and receive from the fund all the time. So I'm not, as much as that I have access to the data, I'm not checking who's giving how much and who's receiving, or oh, they gave little and now they're asking for so much. It's not that. Everything is, it's not interconnected in the sheet. It's, these are separate parts of the sheet. So we're not saying ki, wow, you give little bit and then you take so much, and wow, it's a pretense to give, like how it could be thought. But that's not that's not the space that this fund is being operated from at all. And
Yeah,
there are people who give monthly, and then they write to me that, from this month we want to give our fund somewhere else. I say, yeah, sure, sure, yeah, that's it. And they know, and then from next month, I don't give them the monthly reminder or the bi-monthly reminder, because everybody has chosen their own ways to give. So which we have in the sheet. So some people give yearly, monthly, bi-monthly, quarterly. So we have all these different, and these people decide. Our invitation is yearly, but you are welcome to give more often. You're welcome to give more also, and you decide your own. What's the word? Your own your own. I don't know the word after this. So you are the boss. You can choose not to give. You can choose not to ask, but the fund is there.
yeah. See, in the beginning, Deepa, we were starting like seeing money as energy. So if we
Mm-hmm.
think in that sense, it's all
Mm-hmm.
constant exchange of energy happening
Mm-hmm.
around visibly and
See.
invisibly. So yeah, you can't really quantify into a number. Yeah.
Yes, and I think just maybe to talk about what Humphrey was mentioning, that that you have to give back exactly sometimes what you have put in. I think that's where maybe matrimony is also trying to say, hey, like, can we also look at ourselves in relation with the larger world, and what you are giving back might be to the world or to your community or to your social circle or your. So how do we sort of not just look at financial capital and sort of really expand and look at what is called 8 forms of capital, and that you don't have to give back to the community in the same way. Maybe you can give back with a skill that you have, like your knowledge capital. You can give back through your stories, cultural capital. You can give, maybe you can open up access to the natural capital that you have, like if you're living in a space. So how do we really look at diversification of capital and investment just the way that the mainstream does? So we're not even saying that, hey, this is something new and completely bombastic. It's just like, you talk to a wealth manager, he'll say, hey, diversify your portfolio, sort of make sure that you reduce your minimize your risk and things like that. So do the same thing. What does it look like to think of many forms of capital and many ways in which a person can give back, either to a community or either to the world? So in that way, we release them from this linear thing that, hey, you took so much money, give it back to the community. Only then is the relationship sort of equal. All right. If anything else that people would like to share, or should we move towards closing the meeting? And Deepa, maybe some final
So I think, yeah,
words.
the last thing is, see, whenever Deepa shares anything, about, like, she will share so many links, so many resources, on the frequently asked questions, so much thing is there. But yeah, I would say like I've read all of that. So that's why I think many questions also come up. So yeah, now I want to go back and see everything and understand more in detail. Further, yeah, if I've got any questions, like any clarification, surely I will get back. Yeah, thanks for this annual the call, because after after I involved once, and again I just sort of forgot. Okay, so once in a while, if such calls or some reminders will all happen, yeah, then until we become regular, at least those of us who are not regular now, I think that will also.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I mean, the reason why we thought of just one annual call is because we don't know if these receivers and donors, these people, will be there in the next like MM 2.0. So it's for us is also like a closure of this year, and of course everybody is welcome again. But this was so that we can this cohort of 1 year, which made the first experiment move into the next year. This is the reason why I wanted to meet everybody on this call, and yeah, and I'm in, and personally, I'm in touch with everybody who donated and also who received. I write to them, if not often, at least once in 6 months, and that's why you must have got a message 6 months back, like a check-in. So for me, this is creating a community of a flow fund. So it's not like कि बस 120 रुपए दिए or it's finished. For me, it's a continuous relationship, not to take more money out of you or not to force you to ask, but to stay in touch with me, and also access other forms of capital, skill capital, knowledge capital, and just to chat, and just to know that I'm accessible to all of you. In even in days when you don't need help, like when we just want to chat, even on those days, the lighter days.
Great, thank you. So, Deepa, should we close? Yeah. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Aruna. Thank you, Humphrey. Thank you,
Thank
Shivananda.
you.
And thank you, all of you, for joining in patiently, uh, being on the call for 90 minutes. And hopefully, like you feel good, you feel sort of abundant. And yeah, I know you can reach out to Deepa. I think the document has mail ID if you want to know more, if you have questions. My own learning in this sphere has been that you better start doing, and some of the questions start to clarify. If you are in the mind space for too long, then there are enough sort of roadblocks that come along the way. So one good way is to sort of practice it, something that you have a question with, practice it personally, maybe start giving a little more than what you generally give, question some of these limits that you have in your mind as to what is yours, what is mine. Just experiment and see. So that would be my sort of offering to the group. If they have a lot of questions, probably not share all of them with Deepa. Some of them try experimenting in your own personal life, and then some which still remain, you can definitely reach out to Deepa or even me. Thank you again for being with us on this journey with Maitri Money, and feel really good. And Deepa, if you would like to share some
Yeah.
final thoughts, and then we'll close.
No, it's yeah, no. Final thoughts are final thoughts. Yeah, you've said everything. So yeah, it's good. Yeah, and yeah, stay in touch. Do your own experiment. Create your own socks. Share your socks, and see what it is for you. Because every experience is different. Like Chit Chat Fund and Matrimony are similar, but they're not alike. And our experiences are very alike, but they're very different. And it's like different banks with different policies interbanking together, but not to benefit out of suffering, but to be the bandits, to say, okay, hey, we have a bandit for you for today, not forever, but for today, take our bandit if you like, it's available. And that's what we are. People said, well, what is 120 rupees? I mean, why are you asking for this? Your fund should be for 1 crore, 2 crore, 3 crore should be your target. And I always hear this from the people who have this illusion of the grandeur, and because of that nothing happens. So I'm interested in, let me do this small fund, let me have only 3 lakh rupees a year to give, and that's okay. And when crores will happen, we'll give crores also. But let me start with one drop now, like Aruna said. Let's have like I'm only looking for 3,000 drops, and I'm waiting all these 3,000 drops to slowly come in this year, next year, and I am in no hurry. It doesn't disappoint me that there are only 97 people. I'm just saying, wow, 97 people saw this. They saw it. They saw the project. They see this, and they are saying, here we can contribute this much, and then other people see it and say, hey, we can ask, you know. So I feel this is enough for me.
The trust.
It's already enough for me. So I'm not looking at. I mean, yeah, we will see how it grows, but it's already growing slowly, and I feel slow changes are deep changes. Yeah.
Final
Thank
word
you.
from Deepa. Slow changes and deep changes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
everyone, for
you.
joining in. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.